Now, in order to give you a very clear picture, I will go back to its beginning and then bring you down to the present, today's status of that plot, the Illuminati.
This same situation destroyed civilization after civilization.
The highest level of Freemasonry.
Hello, inline skating cultists, and welcome to a new clip where we're actually going to talk about the elusive K2 Unnatural, the secret society of skating. So I just got this in the mail, and I can safely say that this is truly a skate of the occult. Just the coloring itself with this very dark green, as well as the let's say Masonic cues that we get on the skate, from the actual 45-degree strap to the frame itself, we are looking at something that you don't really see every day. This particular model we are talking about, I think it's the 2017 K2 Unnatural, has been sadly discontinued. But with all things relics, if you look hard enough, you might just be able to uncover something like this. Now, starting from the ground up, we are looking at 60mm wheels coming from K2. So this is actually a very versatile size because you are able to actually ride flat, or because of the nature of this frame, you actually have some hexagonal spacers that you are able to shift in order to rocker your wheels up or down. This frame has been praised by many aggressive skaters to be very forgiving, especially when it comes to the groove tricks. Now, if we move a little bit higher, we can see the sole and the cuff part. That is sadly one of the stiffest around. I remember that one of my first quality skates were actually the K2 Fanti Pros, and those had quite a soft shell, so compared to those, these are as rigid as could be. One part is this very strong link between the sole and the cuff, as well as the structure of the cuff that makes it extremely rigid. And on top of that, I've also read that this particular soft material takes quite a long while to break down. So although the frame might be ready to go, if you're looking to do reals, front sides, farves, and any other groove tricks, basically, you might have a hard time to actually incline to that angle that you need. Once broken in, I have heard that they are quite comfy to begin with, but we'll actually be able to test that once we are able to put these on. Now, if we actually pick this up, we'll be able to see that we have quite a generous sole space, both on the positive and the negative side, packed with quite a premium feature. If you see these white inserts, these are actually made of Teflon. Now, coming up a bit higher, we can actually see the 45-degree strap that comes with a Velcro. We also have these metal highlights here. Bear in mind, I have heard that these metal things actually tend to fall off, but I assume that if you take care, they should be just fine. Now, we also have quite a decent set of laces. They don't seem to be wax laces, but even so, they do actually have a heavy-duty feel to them. The boot itself actually has some reinforcements here at the toe area. This is a very rigid rubber material that has been actually sewn in. If we move even higher up, we can see the top buckle. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this actually seems to be a regular buckle that you would see on the Razors or even the RB110s that I have. You do have screws, so if you want to change the buckle itself, of course you can do so very easily. As an added bonus, we also get this additional Velcro strap that is actually very useful, since we are looking at a skate that is quite a bit higher than most of your other setups. On top of that, we also get this high tongue here that is actually packed with different density materials, so that's going to give an even greater feeling of support. Now, if we actually move to the back here, we'll be able to see some reflective stitching that will actually prove very useful if you are doing a lot of city skating, because the cars will be able to notice you much easier. We also get to see just how thick this particular plastic is, and also the design of this cuff that is a bit alien to me, but at the same time we are talking about a very old design, since this was used ever since the K2 fatties appeared, along with the midtowns and uptowns and all of the other selections. You also get this material right here that makes it very easy for you to pick them up, since they're not the most light skate around. And inside we can actually see that we have a bit of leather and different density materials, as well as an insole that is actually raising your heel quite a bit compared to the other K2 options out there that are known to be quite flat in the positioning of your foot. But enough talking, and let's actually see how these K2 Unnaturals fit. Wow, so these feel like you have a cast on your feet. Extremely rigid, probably the most stiff skates that I've worn so far. They feel comfortable, but at the same time they feel like having the flexibility of bricks for now. And because of that reason, although the frame seems to be good and the wheels are rolling okay, you are not actually feeling any flex at all, and I haven't even tightened them up that much. So I think I have an idea on how I could break them in even faster. Now, since I really don't like that cast feeling on my foot, and I do have the USD Aeon 60s that will ease me into learning more aggressive tricks, I had the idea of using this particular frame. Now, since we are looking at an UFS frame, but at the same time the K2 Unnaturals have a much more rigid feel compared to these DEM 908s. I mean, yeah, I have tried and mounted this 45-degree ratchet strap. It is doing an okay job, but compared to what I've just felt on the Naturals, these are just softer skates. So I think that this will be a much better idea, shifting these frames over to the Naturals, since this extra height of the frame will most likely mean greater forces are at play, and that would mean breaking them in should be a bit easier.
Damn.
This path that runs along the lake, although having quite a horrible surface, is almost a breeze in these 125s, and the Naturals are definitely keeping the ride stable and very comfortable. It's pretty clear why Joey from Mushroom Blading sometimes uses these boots for wizard skating, with 4x100 setups even. I mean, with this 3x125 I barely feel any flex, so these are definitely versatile for mounting any wizard or UFS NN skates frames. I'm actually planning to build a very affordable wizard setup and the DEM 908 is still very much on the table. But these Unnaturals are making a case of their own. You will need to measure your foot accordingly, as I had to downsize from my usual 42 EU 9 US size to a 40.5 EU or size 8 US in order to get this awesome fit. Right now, these are probably my go-to urban ripping skates because the rigidity and the comfiness of the boot allows me to go for very long distances, and the 255mm short frame is absolutely making these 3x125 wheels super agile, raising the Masonic level of the setup to a devastating skating weapon. So if you plan to find out what my next skating setup is, subscribe and click the notifications bell, and we will both find out what the next skate up is. Hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, skate like there's no tomorrow.